To mark Nelson Mandela Day, legendary musician Sipho Hotstix Mabuse has honored the icon with a special tribute playlist, which will be available on streaming website Deezer. Now, the playlist, titled Nelson Mandela, A Life Story of Music, is Mabuse's personal journey into the musical taste of Madiba. It'll be available until the end of the month. And Mabuse joins us now on the line to tell us a little bit more of his thoughts and feelings that have gone into this playlist. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Bra Sipho. I would have thought that something like this would have been a bit of a labor of love for you. How did you go about deciding what goes into the playlist and what doesn't?
Oh, thank you. Good morning, ENCA. And I think one of the most important things is the recognition that Madiba gave to most South African musicians. In fact, all South African musicians without... and I think it was just a privilege for all of us, you know, who had been invited in his space to bring in songs. So I selected some of the musicians who I would have believed that Madiba was very close to, musicians like Johnny Clegg, musicians like Brenda Fassie, Chica, and so on. And there's quite a number of musicians who had sang for Madiba and performed for him.
Now, a part of this playlist, of course, is also featuring artists that were favorites of Madiba himself. You would have had a lot of interaction with the former president over the years. Can you remember the kinds of conversations you had with him about music?
You know, one of the things that he said is when they were in prison, we uplifted their spirits. Now, I know that before they even went to prison, they used to go out and dance at the Bankiman Social Center. The Manhattan Brothers were one of the groups at the time which were revered by the South African society as a whole. And artists like Dorothy Masuka, Miriam Makeba, Letta Mbulu, Kaifos Brakwango, and Brahu were some of the musicians, you know, before they left for exile. So he would speak fondly about those periods. I mean, with people like Sistandi Klassen were also there. I mean, the list is just endless. But I just felt that, you know, we had not honored those people as much as we should. And bringing them into this conversation was very critical for me to remind him and for him to remind us of the era in which they celebrated South African music.
Now, you yourself had a song called, or have a song called Nelson Mandela, very simply titled, but I suppose you didn't need anything else. When you listen to that song now, where does it take you?
Well, there are two songs actually I did about Nelson Mandela. One of them was the one to call for his release, which was banned and, of course, was never heard in South Africa. And then there was the other one, which was a moniker, if I may call it, of the liberation struggle songs. And Nelson Mandela, it was in his praise. We sang to appreciate what he had done and what he was going through and what he was doing for all of us. Nelson Mandela, hayo atfanangle.
We're going to leave it there for now. I do suppose that this is a subject that we could speak to you for a very, very long time. I just wish we could play more of the music in between, because that really brings it home. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Sipho Hotstix Mabuse, the legend himself, speaking to us on the line there. And he's put together a playlist titled Nelson Mandela, A Life Story of Music, that's available on the streaming platform Deezer until the end of the month. But, of course, especially fitting today being Mandela Day.